Alright YouTube, ECW number one back here again. Just going to do a quick video on my thoughts on WrestleMania, kind of recap of my opinion on how the show went down, how the matches all, and the actual results of the show. So yeah, as always, Facebook, link below. I'm always happy to talk to people about wrestling, bounce, WWE, whatever, TNA. But yeah, let's get on to the actual review of the show. Before the actual WrestleMania show started, annoyingly enough, the US title match was taken off the show and put on as a dark match, the pre-show match, which ended up as a non-title battle royal with the Great Khali winning. No opinion on that. I mean, why take a... I know WrestleMania is a packed card. There's not enough time for each match to get the time it deserves, but at least take off a stupid segment. Like there was a backstage segment between Snoop Dogg. You could have shortened that down by 2 minutes and taken, I don't know, there was other segments as well. There was a whole segment after the World Title match. It could have fit in, but I guess maybe not. So yeah, the show starts with the promo by The Rock to open up the show, which could have been shorter, but I did enjoy it. It got the whole crowd pumped. It kind of got me ready for the kind of, wow, this is WrestleMania. The Rock's hosting WrestleMania. The show's about to start. Yeah, so I enjoyed the promo. Could have gone a bit shorter. I mean, the world title match, which was up first, I don't know how to react to that at all. The World Heavyweight Championship match was up first. No idea. I was honestly just when Justin Roberts got on the mic and said the following contest is scheduled for one fall and it is for the world. I just thought, wait, what? What are you saying? I thought he honestly botched that up, but what Del Rio and Edge did wrong backstage to end up first on the card, I'll never know. I have no idea why they were up first. But a decent match. Completely went differently than I thought. I could have sworn Christian would have turned on Edge. Del Rio would have won. I think it's stupid not giving Del Rio the belt. You've pushed him so hard recently, made him so over. You give him the biggest Royal Rumble win. You keep his... he's had the momentum going this whole time. And where's the payoff in letting Edge keep the belt? I just don't see it. Odds are they'll probably give Del Rio the belt down the line, but come on, it's not going to be as big as a WrestleMania win. You basically tarnished that. Because if you notice, the biggest stars, well, actually, yeah, some of the biggest stars have all won their first belt at world title belt at WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, John Cena, Batista. Who else? Ooh, a bit of a mind blank here. Anyway, but that's just a thought. I don't get it why Edge kept the belt. He doesn't need it. He's over enough. Del Rio could have been the big heel on SmackDown now as the world champion. Don't know. Maybe it was just you don't want two heel champs coming out of Mania. Second match was, I think it was Ray versus Cody. This was actually, for the length of time it got given, which I don't think was long enough, but obviously stacked WrestleMania card, you can't fit everything you want in. It was a decent match actually. I did quite enjoy it. Ray started to annoy me towards the end. He just started doing the slightest things that just got him. He was like, oh, like the constant headbutts with Cody's mask on. I don't know why. I know it's a good, fun thing to do. Like he takes the mask off him and then uses it against him. But for some reason, Ray just really annoys me by doing that. I don't get it, but Cody, to my surprise and actual joy, picked up the win with the Crossroads after hitting Ray in the face with his own knee brace, which he'd removed prior in the match. But yeah, I enjoyed the match. I'm glad Cody's getting a push. Ray didn't need the win. He honestly didn't deserve it. Cody's been carrying this feud, and rightfully so, he won the match. This is where I'm confused with the match order. I think it was Michael Cole versus King next. Either that or Orton Punk. I think it was Orton Punk next. I mean, I read reports that Randy Orton was complaining a lot backstage about his position on the card, that he was only third or fourth, I can't remember. Complaining. Yeah, he's really has no right to complain. He's not got his match obviously doesn't have the big hype as the Triple H Undertaker, Miz Cena, and the world title was, but he's after the world title match, so I don't think he has any right to complain. If anyone does, it's Del Rio and Edge. But yeah, Punk, Orton, decent match. Predictably, Orton does the same old routine that he always does and picks up the win with an RKO. Although the RKO was impressive as hell. Punk took that bump so well. Perfect timing by Orton to catch Punk in midair. Very impressive spot. Kind of got me on the edge of my seat when I saw that. Oh my god, that was awesome. But disappointingly, Orton wins. He really didn't need it in this feud. Orton is over enough. Just like Ray didn't need it in his Rhodes feud, but I suppose having that many heels seemed to win. Yeah, maybe they want. WrestleMania is always the face event mainly. Always having faces go over, so I suppose I'm not too down on Orton winning. I think the feud could probably continue a bit longer. Punk eventually coming out on top, I think. Wow, I look about as white as Sheamus in this. Sunlight hitting me. So yeah, I think the next match was Michael Cole versus Lawler. As I actually predicted, Cole gets on the mic beforehand, talking about smack about King, and then eventually when King comes out, who looked like Superman by the way, he's wearing a cape type thing. I actually posted that on Facebook. Jerry the King Lawler, also known as Superman. I was actually impressed with how Cole did in this match. He's a lot better than I actually expected. The singlet he was wearing, a bright orange thing. Actually, I couldn't stop laughing at that. Just the fact how much of an arrogant prick he looks when he looks that ridiculous is brilliant. He's such a good heel. I argued with people on Facebook for a good half hour about how amazing Cole is, and they're talking about how much of a prick he is. Yeah, that kind of shows how good he is at his job. He's making you hate him, which is what he's supposed to do. And you can't deny that that's him doing a good job of it if you're actually giving that much of a reaction just to what he's wearing and what he's saying. There you go then. I enjoyed the start of the match, especially starting off in the coal mine. Jerry Lawler actually smashing King's face against it a few times after Cole went for a handshake, pulling his arm through, cracking his face off the coal mine plastic paneling. The face that Cole had against that was priceless. So, good match as expected. Austin, little bit of interference with Swagger. Austin combats that, and then eventually King picks up the victory. And then the Raw GM chimes in, and this actually, I marked out for this, the fact that he reverses the decision and gives Michael Cole the win just because Steve Austin put his hands on Cole, or I can't remember what the call was exactly. I've just woken up as well, so can't remember exactly, but that was brilliant. I think just another way to get Cole so much heat. Give him a reverse decision victory on Jerry the King Lawler. But that was, up to this point, that was the match I enjoyed most, which really does not bode well for the previous matches on the card. This match I enjoyed quite a lot. Cole, unbelievably impressive for a guy who's not even ring trained properly. Put on a good show. King as well, all props to them. Good match, enjoyed it thoroughly. If I'm not mistaken, the next match on the card was barely even a match. The Core versus Big Show, Kane, Santino Marella, and Kofi Kingston. Obviously, Vladimir Kozlov injured, had to be replaced by Kofi Kingston. All I got to say is the entrances lasted longer than the match. This match was worthless to me. There's no point having a match like this on a WrestleMania card. It's just like the ECW Championship match between Chavo and Kane at WrestleMania 24, lasting 9 seconds. This lasted about a minute and 20 seconds. This end of the entrances, I went and got myself a drink just so I'd be ready to watch this match and probably the matches on forward after that. And then when I come back in, who was it? Big Show punched Heath Slater the second I walked through, and I'm like, I was literally mouth wide open, just wondering, wait, what? I've just missed a whole match. I don't see the point of having a match like that on a WrestleMania card. It really just doesn't do anything, and especially seeing as Big Show's team won, there's no reason for that. They're all single stars. Why should they beat an established team who have the IC champ and the tag team champ in their rankings? An established team like the Core. It makes no sense to me, and that match I really thought was a waste. I'd much prefer to see the US title match in its place, given a few minutes longer. But yeah, disappointing match. Hardly even called a match, to be honest. No reason for it anyway. Oh, what was the next match? I think it was the Streak versus... Oh, the Streak match. Yep, that's the next one. This match kind of saved the card. I know some people won't have liked this match. Like, it was a really weird start to the match, like brawling. No holds barred. You expect a lot of brawling in it, but the match just seemed really slow from the start of it. I know that the guys aren't what they used to be 10 years ago, but the fact that Triple H completely dominated this match kind of gave it a little bit of a damp feel to me. Just like, oh, so Undertaker's kind of going down the Orton route now, seeing like he can pull out a win out of anywhere with one move. Obviously, the Hell's Gate, fun to watch though. The match kept this. I honestly, every time Triple H pinned Undertaker, I was like, oh my god, we've just given the streak to Triple H. I couldn't believe it, especially when Triple H pile drove Undertaker. I thought that was it. And honestly, I thought that was a spit in the face to Undertaker. Just to end this streak with a pile driver, I just thought, oh my god, what have they done? And then Undertaker unbelievably kicks out, which I actually marked out for that when he actually kicked out. I completely was out of my seat, just marking out. I was like, oh my god, Undertaker. I felt like I was like a 5-year-old again seeing this. Really was an exciting match. Triple H obviously dominating, destroying Undertaker with the chair, with pedigrees, with a pile driver, and then eventually Undertaker locks in Hell's Gate, and after a good, I think, 2.5 minutes maybe, Triple H grabs the sledgehammer. Eventually the weakening, you could see him dropping it, just drops the sledgehammer and obviously taps out eventually. And afterwards, Undertaker's completely spent after the match, has to be driven away on a little pickup kind of trainer's cart, which I kind of modeled that a little. But yeah, good match, very suspenseful. I honestly believed during that match that the streak was over, and I'm thrilled to say that it isn't. So, good match, thoroughly enjoyed it. Up next was the Trish Stratus, John Morrison and Snooki match versus Dolph Ziggler and Lay Cool. Wow, is all I can say. Not much to say for this match, to be honest. More of a waste of time than anything else. Obviously, they get the mainstream media from a big star like Snooki being on the show, so all props to them. No problem with having a star like Snooki on there. Gets the mainstream media attention, and rightfully so. Decent match, didn't last long at all. Snooki, if I remember correctly, picked up the win after defying gravity. When I saw her, she does a cartwheel, then a backflip. I was like, oh my god, gravity just stood still. The little troll thing just did a backflip. But either way, for what it was just a celebrity appearance match. I know for some reason in my PPV picks, I picked Lay Cool and Dolph Ziggler. Then afterwards, I just realized, wait, celebrity appearance. When does a celebrity other than Pete Rose ever lose? So I'm not gonna make up stories like, oh no, I made a stupid decision. I know I picked Lay Cool in that because I was hoping they would win, but once I think about it, it was pretty obvious the Snooki team would win. So my bad. And finally, the main event of the evening, the WWE Championship match between WWE Champion Miz and John Cena. When I looked at the time this match started, and on my Sky Box Office thing, it said the event ended at 3:50 was the time it was scheduled to end, 3:50 in the morning here in the UK, and the match started at 3:38, and I was like, hold on a second, this is going to be less than 12 minutes, most likely less than 10 minutes for WWE Championship main event, and the match was disappointing, to be honest. Miz, I could see both of them. The time they were given was nowhere near enough, and you could see both of them were trying to make the most of it, putting in as much offense as they could before they had to do the count-out spot, which after they went over the barricade, I just thought, oh no, this is not a way to end WrestleMania. Then I actually Facebooked, wow, The Rock's definitely coming out now. Could he be walking away with a strap? I'm glad he didn't know. But one thing I have to add is, I know I made this call months ago. The briefcase that Alex Riley's been carrying around since Miz won the title, I'm going to put a bet on that the new WWE Championship belt that was made over a year and a half ago is in that briefcase. I made that call about 6 months ago. It's not 6 months ago. What am I talking about? Maybe a month after The Miz won the title, I made the call in that briefcase, the WWE Championship belt, the new one. And I have a feeling they're not going to be using a replica like The Miz is using on TV right now as the WWE Championship. So I'm thinking within this week, tonight on Raw, or next week on Raw, I'm going to make a bet that they unveil the new WWE Championship belt, and it is what is inside that briefcase. I know I'm probably going to be wrong, but it's just a hunch I got, so that's the call. Obviously, after the count-out spot last night, Rock comes out, restarts the match, and I marked out. The thing is, we all knew that The Rock was going to interfere against Cena, and then when he actually did, I was just like, oh my god, I really just felt like a 5-year-old just thinking, oh my god, The Rock just rock bottom Cena, and then Miz picks up the win. The one thing I have to ask is how this I'm actually on the WWE.com page right now. I've got the video at the side, and I've been reading the match listing because yeah. Well, what on the main page? The main feature is The Rock. That's one thing I don't like. The host WrestleMania is the main story of WrestleMania. It says Cena, Miz, get rocked. That's not really a good way to put over your retained WWE champion, The Miz. From what I feel, it should always be the two titles or the two main stories, the winners of that, and of course the streak match is third in line on the scrolling bar. But really, it doesn't even have a picture of The Miz holding up the WWE Championship after his victory. So I just feel this really, they always talk about making your WrestleMania moment, and this is more Rock's Mania, one of Rock's Mania moments as compared to The Miz's, which I think is a damn shame. He's done so much hard work this year and 2010, all year for the past long while now. He's put in so much hard work, and just he deserved his WrestleMania moment. I know people who don't like The Miz will disagree, and I'm happy to know that some people who don't like The Miz will agree, because loads of people agreed with me last night that this should have been Miz's WrestleMania moment, and Rock overshadowed him in the feud and in the end, which is disappointing. I know I'm obviously being biased because I'm a Miz mark, basically, and I just love The Miz. I think he is literally awesome. But I think we all have to agree, your WWE champion should be the biggest highlight of the event. The final, or world champion, whichever comes last on the card, should be the biggest cover story, and not someone that interfered in the match. Honestly, I thought that was a bit, kind of made me think, well, that's a bit of a shame. Rock's not going to be around for maybe the next 6 months or something. Miz is, so why not? At least he's WWE champion is what I'm happy about, though. He deserved to win, continuing a great WWE title reign. He's had a brilliant reign so far, and I'm glad it's continuing. So yeah, not the best WrestleMania, but nowhere near it's no WrestleMania 9 or 25 is what I'm going to say. But obviously no WrestleMania 20. Decent matches, good suspense towards the end, confusing start to the PPV, but that's about it. So yeah, that was just my quick thoughts review. Comment if you have anything to say about it. If you disagree with anything I've said, just give me a good reason. I'm always happy to see people's opinions, basically, so please leave them. What are your thoughts on the event? How did it go? What did you think of it? Thought it was a decent event. I'm glad I stayed up to watch it. Obviously, WrestleMania is always worth my £15 to watch it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it was a good PPV. Not up to WrestleMania standards, though, sadly enough, but decent PPV. Happy I watched it. Good starting point to build the next year of WWE off. So this was ECW number 1, WrestleMania thoughts, review, result thing, episode. I don't have episodes, but whatever. Add me on Facebook if you want to discuss anything about wrestling, WrestleMania, or WWE, TNA, fuck. So comment, rate, subscribe. Thanks for watching.